BS Show, Season 3, Episode 15. Sean Gankars with Justin Chasmore and Adam Tyne, as always. Boys, I think last week was our worst week of the season. I could be wrong, but I don't know if we were 3-6. I don't know if we were 3-6 in the past 2 years.
It's been a while. And it hurts even more for me personally because of Big Zero Burger. But you know what? We just got to get back to the drawing board. We're like the Bears right now. We can't figure it out. So we just got to, we got to get back to some good old ground and pound football.
The difference between us and the Bears, Adam, is we still have a winning record. We're still 56, 51, and 1. Winning record, yes, not ideal in terms of gambling, but we got time to get that better. The Bears are, 5-6 now?
5 straight losses. That is correct.
You guys remember when they were 5-1? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chaz, your team played not too long ago, lost to Pittsburgh. Big Corona game, obviously. Pretty expected loss, but, quick take, not long off the game here. I actually thought the Ravens didn't look so bad, all things considering, coming into the week.
Yeah, it's weird, doing the show a couple hours off of the game. Nice Wednesday 3:40 kickoff. Real 2020 there. But, no, honestly, I mean, they were expected to lose. Obviously, Vegas had a 10.5-point line. But I got to say, the defense, I ripped them all last week against the Titans. But they actually came to play today and kept them in that game for as long as they possibly could. We had RG3, who actually ran the ball pretty well. Then we got little Trace McSorley, who, if you thought Trace McSorley would be playing in a divisional game in Pittsburgh this year, I would have said you're absolutely crazy. But he somehow threw a touchdown. It stayed close. Obviously, they lost, but I think they feel good about the loss, and I think it's something to build on, especially with the defense.
Yeah, I was actually a little impressed from what I've seen from the Ravens. Like you said, their defense kind of came out, showed up. I'm a big Ravens fan this week coming up. And anybody that's playing an NFC East team and the way this division race is going, I'm definitely a huge fan of the opponent. But, yeah, the Ravens defense really stepped up. Knew the offense to be a question mark. It was. RG3, 6-7 completions for a whopping 33 yards.
Man, it was ugly.
That's what it ended.
He threw more touchdowns to the Steelers than he did to the Ravens.
Yeah. Adam, do you think it's painful watching the Bears offense? You get better than 33 passing yards from your starting quarterback.
Say what you want. I watched the whole game. Say what you want about RG3. The guy looked pretty good running the ball. He actually played pretty well.
Running the ball, he did, yeah.
Yeah,
Throwing the ball.
Pass, I don't know.
The Ravens' offense is kind of built, though, where I think a quarterback can look decent running the ball. But, no, he definitely did, and he was doing enough to keep the Ravens in the game, especially the first half. Chaz, I don't know if you mentioned this or not, if I missed it, but the Ravens had their opportunities in the first half to actually take a lead and kind of have something going into halftime. Obviously worked against them. From what I saw, didn't really get to see much of the game based on what I was following. It looked like kind of just an ugly third quarter all around where no one could really move the ball before Pitt pulled ahead. And then Trace McSorley, big tutty throw.
Popping dime.
Massive. It was massive because, hey, the Ravens, they covered. That's all that matters.
That's all you could ask for. Mountaineers just covered not too long ago. That's a little win for me to start the night, too.
Yeah, great teams cover.
I'm actually 3-0 in college basketball tonight right now, but we're in football season still, so we'll stick with that. That might be the first and only time I very rarely actually bet West Virginia games, but I'm never going to see West Virginia getting 8.5 points in a basketball game again this year, so I took it and it worked out for me.
Smart man.
But we got another week coming. Chaz, I actually got a question for you. Didn't talk about this. Gonzo have a pick in?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was waiting for the Ravens line to come up because that was supposed to be our Thursday night game.
And it hasn't.
Whenever that does come out, because since there's no line, I'll just I'll tweet it out.
Follow us on Twitter.
But I will say, Gonzo 2-0 on Thanksgiving, improves his record to 9-4, and AT Don't know why you went against him for the lock.
I'm a fool. That's where I'm at, Chaz. That's where I'm at right now. I'm going against Gonzo. What am I doing?
Got to get that out there.
It's terrible.
65-55-1 if you want to count Gonzo's picks into our overall record.
The man wins.
Boost
that number up. I mean, the cat dominating. But, I mean, overall standings, Chaz, we got you 19-17, Adam 16-20. 21-14, and of course I got the one fucking push this year so far, which is kind of shocking to only have one at this point of the season, I think. But anyways, we got a near full slate this week coming up. We got 2 byes, the Buccaneers. I forget who else has the other bye. Who has the other bye this week? Panthers, that's it. I'm not missing much there for my Panthers anyway. But we're getting started here. As always, our line's coming from FanDuel Sportsbook here. And Adam, we're starting off with your Dolphins to start week 13 here. First game on the slate, home against the Bengals. Whopping 11.5-point favorites at home, Miami. Over under 42. Adam, you weighing all those points with your Fins.
I mean, how about the Fins? 11.5 points. Look where we're at. I feel like I say this every week, but it's the truth, man. I mean, think about it. This would never happen last year. That's for sure. But so, yeah, I saw this game, and I'm still a little bit kind of perplexed at that many points. But obviously, of course, Joe Burrow is out. I'm going to take the Fins to cover here. I know it's a lot of points. Don't get me wrong. But I think the Dolphins D is going to come to play this week. And they just got coming off a big win. Is Fitzmagic playing, or is Tua? I think Fitz. He's getting.
I actually don't know that.
That's a good question. Tua thinks he's going to play, but he also thought he was playing last week, so we'll see.
Either way, I don't see the Bengals doing much against this Fins D. Maybe a defensive touchdown for the boys again. I don't see this game being close, and I think Dolphins stay hot and move to, I believe, it would be 8-4 on the year. I will go 27-13 Miami.
Yeah, Adam, I'm with you on this one too. I don't think the quarterback really matters in this. To be honest, almost for any Miami game, I don't think the quarterback matters. Their defense is playing pretty damn well, and if anything, from what I've seen so far, I actually like Ryan Fitzpatrick for the rest of the year in this Miami offense. That's just my opinion. I mean, obviously, to a long-haul guy, he's got himself a few wins to start. But I think Ryan Fitzpatrick's kind of been better in this offense than Tua's looked so far. With that said, though, I think Miami's just simply the better pick. Like you said, out on their defense. I mean, since he came out back to recover the spread against my Giants last week. But now Miami has a little bit of film on them, with Space Brandon Allen there, quarterback in Cincy. They kind of got a little idea what to expect. I think their defense could definitely keep him in check. I think since he's a struggle to score in this one, give me the Dolphins to win this one at home. Low scoring, pretty boring game, but the Dolphins are going to do what they keep doing, and they're going to find another way to get a win here. Dolphins 24-10.
Yeah, I'm with you guys still. This was a big number. It was. I mean, this was a real big number, but it just says how far these Dolphins have come. I tweeted this to my buddy who's a Dolphins fan, like AT said. I mean, last year they were getting points every week, and now here we are a year later where they're laying 11.5. And the last time the Dolphins were favored by 11 or more points was 2003. So they actually lost that game. But I don't think they lose this game. The Bengals screwed me in our locks last week with that backdoor cover. I just don't think they're going to be able to score against the Fins defense going back home and coming off a big win again. I mean, it was the Jets, but good showing on the defense, and they won 20-3. So I think they win. I think it's pretty boring. I agree with you, Gank, but I'll take the Fins 23-9.
Boys, so the Fins, we started this week, are officially the first team to be running with the Bulls.
Running with the Bulls. I like that. We are running with the Bulls.
Let's go.
Oh, man. Mark it down. We got to keep track of the
I got it.
There it is.
Good start.
I have a gut feeling we're not going to have a running with the bowl game here. Cleveland and Tennessee here. Titans 6-point favorites at home. Over under 52.5. And this Titan team, Chaz, I know we all know we've been listening to the show all year. Ain't the big buyer. I never wanted to buy into them, and I kind of been saying over the past few weeks the Titan team is a team I'm really starting to buy into. I mean, when you have a guy like Derrick Henry that can run the ball the way he can, and look at this team last year. They found themselves in the conference championship game, and when it's all said and done, now it's a whole new year, and they still find a way to just win football games and pull it out in the end. And 6 points seems like a pretty big number here, especially going against a Cleveland team that does have 8 wins on the year. But I do think Tennessee is able to kind of control Cleveland at home. I do think they could slow up Cleveland's offense a little bit. And when it's all said and done, give me Derrick Henry over the Cleveland running game, which Cleveland running game is very good. But I think the Titans pull this one out at home here. I do think they cover. I think it's a big number, but I have the Titans. I got the Titans by 7 in this one, 28-21.
Yeah, so in this game, I actually love the under here. I know you're coming off a Titans offense that just could not be stopped by the Colts. But I don't see that happening again because the Browns come into this game knowing, and they have a good defense. They got to try to stop Henry. And the Titans have the same thing on Cleveland's side. I don't trust Baker enough to make plays. So I like the Titans here to win and cover as well, Gank. But it's weird because it's like whoever quarterback plays better should win this game, and I have way more faith in Tannehill than I do Baker. I don't know if you guys saw that touchdown he missed with like 2 guys wide open.
Oh my God, I did see that.
Like all of us could have made that pass.
This wasn't a touchdown; it was 2 guys.
Every single one of us on this show make that throw too.
Oh, 2 guys. It was like Kareem Hunt's wide open, and then the tight end, and he missed him. So I mean, they've been cruising. I think it stops here. And they only won by 2 points against the freaking Jags. Glennon covered against me, that motherfucker. But either way.
Jags are the kings of backdoor covers.
Hey, they really are, man. It's unbelievable. They lose, but they cover. So I'd like the Titans to win. I like them to cover here. And I think Cleveland struggles running the ball and Baker does not make enough plays. So give me 24-17 Tennessee.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll not be running with the Bulls on this one.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I think the Titans win here, but I think 6 is a big number. I mean, the Titans last week, that offense looked dominant. And, I mean, Derrick Henry scored 3 touchdowns, had 178 yards. It's going to take a lot to stop them. I mean, stop him. If a team can and make Tannehill beat them, I think that's how you beat this team. I'm still, like, they're turning back to the football that got them to the AFC Championship, but this is a team that needs to come out fast and needs to get a lead. And I mean, the last couple of weeks they've been able to do that. Although 2 weeks ago they fell behind, and I know they made the comeback against the Ravens. But Derrick Henry's coming off a huge game, but Nick Chubb's coming off a career game too against the Jags. And this Browns running game is the real deal. But I think when you look at the 2 quarterbacks, I will take Tannehill to make a play over Baker simply because, like you said last week, AT, that throw. And that wasn't even the only one. Like, I know Baker statistically probably had one of the best games of the year when it comes to touchdowns and yards, but he's still leaving a lot of plays out there. But just because I think this game's going to be run heavy, I kind of like the under with you, AT. But I think this game stays close, but I'll take the Titans at home to win. And I'm rooting for him as a Raven fan. So give me the Titans 28-24.
It wasn't that his first touchdown, Baker, in
5 weeks, 4 weeks or something. Yeah.
What, passing touchdown?
Yeah, no, Gank, it's like 4 or 5 weeks, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And they're 8-3.
Yeah. It's insane.
They just run the ball so well.
Yeah.
That's incredible. All right, here we go, Adam. Big NFC North showdown. Lions Bears here. Do your Bears have a chance to fall in last place in the division if they lose after a 5-1 start?
Wow. What are the Lions, 4-7?
I think so.
Yeah, no.
I want to make sure I'm thinking of that right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, here they are, 3-point favorites at home against the Lions over under 44.5. Is this the week the Bears snap the losing streak?
I do believe it is for a few reasons. First of all, I saw Matt Stafford play. Was it last week with that messed up hand? I don't know what that was, but didn't they get shut out? Or is that – yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago. They put on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's right. They played on Thanksgiving, and they got smoked by the Lions. So the only thing that I'm honestly upset about is that Matt Patricia got fired this week. I was hoping he'd make it one more. I think we've all seen coaches get fired and then they kind of bounce back that next game. But the Bears have handled the Lions pretty well over the past few years. And surprisingly enough, I remember saying this week 1, I think, Mitch plays well against the Lions, and Mitch is getting the start. One of the reasons I actually love the over in this game at 44.5. Detroit's defense isn't very good. Bears D without Akeem Hicks, so I don't think it's playing as well, is not that same defense. So the offense knows they got to at least put up some points. And at home, I just think this is that get-right game for them. I could see them not covering but still getting the win, but I think they'll win by 4 points here. So give me 24-20 Chicago. Sorry, 28-24, my fault.
Hey, I'm with you on the Bears here. Like you said, Adam, Mitch plays well against the Lions, 4-2 against them. And I think the Lions have some type of struggles. That was a slaughter they seen at home on Thanksgiving. And the Bears, who, like we keep saying, they lost 5 in a row, but they were 5-1. They do have a good defense. I think this defense could definitely slow the Lions' offense. And we've seen enough. The Bears have the talent to win. This losing streak has to come to an end, I think. And, I mean, this game at home against Detroit just seems like the right time for it. Bears get this win here, too. They're kind of back in the playoff race big time. I just think the Bears take care of Detroit at home. Mitch has done it before against Detroit. I think the defense could easily slow Detroit's offense. And after watching what Houston points they put up on them, I think Chicago, as bad as their offense has been, could easily put up some points also here. Give me the Bears 24-17.
On the Bears, boys.
They're running with the ball.
Running.
That's
yeah. I mean, not, like.
With the Bears, though, is that good?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, this Lions defense is very bad. We saw it happen to them on Thanksgiving. And obviously Mitch made some bad decisions against Green Bay. They didn't look fantastic, but those late touchdowns that they had, I think, gave them some momentum coming into this game. And the Lions defense is the worst defense against running back. So I think Dave Montgomery could have a big game and kind of open things up for Mitch. And like you said, AT, Mitch, career-wise, has played well against his team. Coming home, trying to break that losing streak. I think those last 2 drives of last week kind of carries over here. And I actually don't hate the over here either. I'm kind of with you on that. But I think the Bears get back on track here against a Lions team that seems to be going in the wrong direction. Even with a new coach, I'm going to go with the Bears 24-20.
It's crazy about the Bears because, don't get me wrong, 5 straight is gross. I understand that. But they've literally lost to the Saints, the Rams, the Packers, the Vikings. Like, they're just not a very good team. But I think against the Lions team that is struggling, like I said, they find a way. If they fucking run the ball. They run the ball for 70 yards, and they hand it off 4 more times the rest of the half.
It's the worst team in the league against running backs. They have to run the ball.
Oh, man.
They have to.
That's probably the longest run the Bears have had in 2 or 3 years.
No doubt. And then they don't keep running the ball. It's incredible, bro.
The best part is they're acting like fucking Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes is in the pocket.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Run the damn ball. Need Sandra Bullock out there. All right, AFC South battle here. Indianapolis, 3.5-point road favorites in Houston. Over under 51.5. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I'm going to be on Houston plus 3.5 in this one. I don't think they win the game. I'm probably going to pick the Colts to win as much as I'm one to pick Houston. But a number I do like here is actually an over. A Colts team that, I've been praising their defense a lot this year, but there's also been a few times their defense has shown that they can be exposed and allow points. And Houston's offense, ever since Bill O'Brien was fired, has not been, above and beyond, but they've been clicking. They've been better since Bill O'Brien left. Deshaun Watson, even last week, it's a bad Detroit defense, bad Detroit team we kind of just talked about. Watch kind of got things going. I think he can keep things going at home here against the Colts team he obviously knows very well. I think he does enough to keep it close. The over-under is at 51.5. I do think the game actually goes over because Phil Rivers, I think, is to be able to find a way to score against his Houston D. That's also been somewhat questionable this year too. But when it's all said and done, give me the Colts who just need it a little more to steal it late. But that half-point hook, I think, is key. Well, maybe not key because I have a 28-27, but 3.5 seems like a big number for a Houston team at home.
Greg, we're pretty different on both of these here. I like the Colts and I like the under. The Colts, I mean, you are right, and you called it a couple weeks ago. The Colts D may not be as good as we think it is. I had them in fantasy last week. They got me -5 points, which is horrific. So I don't know if I can keep starting them. But either way, I look at this game, and the Texans have been playing better, but I think losing Will Fuller is going to hurt them a lot. And they've beaten, I think, some poor teams, but the Colts just need a win. I think they're going to get back to Colts football that will run the ball, play pretty good defense. And I could see that hook hurting a little, but I guess I haven't really bought the Texans all year, and I'm not going to start doing it. That being said, Deshaun Watson playing out of his mind. I think it stops this week, unfortunately. So I'm going to take the Colts to win by a touchdown, and I think this stays low scoring in favor of them. I will go 24-17 Indy.
I'm right with Gank on the over and the Texans.
Let's go. We're running balls here.
I actually have the same score as you, Gank, but I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to take the Texans to actually win. I think obviously the Will Fuller suspension is massive for them. And literally I said a few weeks ago that we can't keep picking the Texans because of last 6 games, Deshaun Watson, 1,700 yards, 15 touchdowns, no picks, 122 rating. He is playing out of his mind, and it's keeping this Texans team afloat. I mean, they're 4-7. Obviously coming off a huge win on Thanksgiving. They've had 10 days now to prepare for this Colts team. And this defense that we, like you guys said, that we've talked about all year of the Colts defense being good, they're simply not that great. And I mean, the over in their games have now hit 6 of the last 7. In a game where last week I thought the defense would show up and have to show up against the Titans, they didn't. So I don't see why they will show up here against the Texans playing against one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league. So I'm going to take the Texans to continue to roll here and to win the game. I'll take them 28-27.
Hey, means it's Brandon Cooks time too for us, Chaz.
Oh, yeah. Big Brandon Cooks time.
First of all, and let's not forget the Bears drafted Mitch over Deshaun Watson. And next week the Texans play the Bears at home. So Deshaun's falling out for that one.
Nice.
I mean,
or he's going to try.
Texans win this week.
They win next week.
We got a pretty good chance to be 6-7 all of a sudden. Maybe in a hunt. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They got to win this week, though.
We got to win this week first.
Yeah.
All right, we're going over to the king of backdoor covers, Jacksonville Jaguars. Once again, big underdogs on the road here. 10-point underdogs in Minnesota. High over under 52.5. Chaz, you haven't started us yet. I mean, it ain't your boy Lutton for the Jags. It's Mike Lennon again, but how are we feeling about them?
Yeah, it's tough. Honestly, Mike Lennon played pretty good last week. 235 yards and 2 touchdowns, and turned the ball over and kept it close against the Browns. My thing is this with this game. I don't know if the Vikings are 10 points better than anyone in this league. And for that, I'm not going to take them to cover here. They had a comeback last week just to skate by the Panthers at home, where they were 4-point favorites or 3.5, whatever it was. And I mean, Dalvin might have a career day here against this Jags team that just let up over 250 yards to the Browns on the ground. I think
imagine trading him.
Yeah, imagine trading.
Horrible. What do you matter?
But I mean, the Vikings defense isn't good, so I actually like points here. It's a high over under 52.5. But the Jags seem to just keep games close, and they put up points on the back of James Robinson. That dude is balling out. Mike Lennon, if he plays decent enough, I think this game stays close. And I just think 10 is a massive number for a Vikings team that isn't very good. I think they're good. I think they'll win, but 10's a lot of points in the NFL. So I'll take the Vikings 31-27.
Jazzy, yeah, I mean, I think it's a great point. I agree with pretty much everything you said there. The Vikings, I doubt, have beaten anybody by double digits this year because it seems like every time they even win, it's by a touchdown or a last-minute field goal, how they've been doing it.
Or a missed field goal from Carolina.
Or a missed field goal, yeah. I mean, it was like 55 yards, but still. Their defense is just not what it used to be. I mean, it's playing better, but it's just not there for me to think that they'll win this game by 10 points. And my boy James Robinson is just killing it.
Dude.
The guy is unbelievable, and no one talks about it. It could be Rookie of the Year, and they're just not talking about it. So I'll take the Vikings to win here. Unfortunately, I wish they would lose, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I like the Jags to cover, and I think they might cover normally without a backdoor. So give me 30-24 Minnesota.
All right. I think we are running with the Bulls here.
Oh, the Jags
in terms of covering on the Jags.
Oh, man.
Because I love the Jags plus 10 this week. To be honest,
the Bears we're running with.
Get the Fins.
And
I know, but I actually like that one.
Yeah.
That's running with a good team.
Yeah.
A lot of points you guys said, too. Like, the Jags have just found a way to score points. And even if it's backdoor again, because, Chaz, I agree with you. Dalvin Cook's probably going to run all over this team. But Jacksonville, as I keep saying, has been the king of the backdoor covers this year. Minnesota's secondary has been a huge question mark. And when it's all said and done, I'm sure Mike Lennon can lead a late drive, even if down, maybe 13, 14 points to make it the one-score game. They're going to find a way to get within this 10 points. Minnesota's secondary is bad enough. And Jacksonville, for some reason, no matter who's at quarterback, they just find a way to throw for enough yards every freaking game. And I think they could have an easier matchup this week in terms of that. Keep up with the Vikings a bit. Dalvin Cook's going to run all over them. James Robinson has a decent game. Jacksonville throws, though. But, yeah, I'm actually expecting this one to be a pretty fun game to watch. High scoring. I don't think there's any way the Vikings lose this at home, especially considering the Vikings have climbed out of a huge hole to start the season and get themselves back in the playoff picture somewhat here. And now you got another golden opportunity to win at home here, and I think they do. Big game, Dalvin Cook. Big fantasy game, I think. You got players on these teams who play them. I believe Adam Thielen's coming back from Minnesota too, kind of open up that offense a bit. But give me the Vikings at home. And kind of a pretty close and fun one. I'll take the Vikings 31-27.
Same score.
Yeah.
Fun game.
Let's go.
Running. Bulls are running. The Jags.
The Bulls.
That's scary.
The Jags. All right, let's get to a Jet team that for some reason I've picked to cover way too many times this year. But here we are again. The Jets 7.5-point home dogs against the Raiders. Over under 47. Unfortunately, I don't have a stat off the top of my head. Maybe my brother does, maybe it doesn't. But growing up with a brother who is a Jet fan, I watch a lot of Jet footballs. And one thing I know, and no matter the situation, if history wants to repeat itself, whenever Las Vegas wants to travel and play the Jets, or I shouldn't say Las Vegas, it's been Oakland almost my whole life. But whenever the Raiders want to travel on the road and play the Jets, it's usually kind of ugly for the Raiders. For some reason, they tend to not travel well. But at the same time, the Jets have never been winless through 11 weeks in a season, that 12 weeks of a season at this point, too. With that said, Raiders coming off that ugly loss to Atlanta last week. I'm not going to buy into the fact that the Raiders are that bad. I honestly still think the Raiders are a good team in the middle of a playoff race. I think they're good enough to get into the playoffs too. I think the Raiders bounce back. I mean, like I said, brutal loss last week. Luckily for them, they got a Jet team that's just been struggling. I mean, if you watched that Jet-Dolphin game last week, neither of you probably did. I had it on the TV. Jets had so many opportunities to just score the ball and actually keep that a game, and they just couldn't move the ball or, force a turnover. Jets have a short field, get a field goal. Jets went up 3-0. I don't think scored the rest of the game. I think the Raiders bounce back strong here. I I think their offense really gets clicking. I think their offense gets moving against the Jets, and they just score way too much for the Jets offense to handle. The Jets offense hasn't showed up at all this year. Give me the Raiders big this week, 35-13.
Wow. Big bounce back week for the Raiders, huh? Yeah, I mean, gang, yeah. I think the Raiders get a dub here. I think the Jets actually do keep this game close, and at least their defense plays well enough to keep them in it for most of the game. I mean, last week they gave up, 20 points to the Finns. The Finns a high-octane offense, so that's, not crazy. But I like the under in this game. I'm assuming the weather will be pretty shitty just because, we're around here. So I like the Raiders to win. They run the ball, but I think it stays close. They win by 10, but it's a little closer than they would like. So I'll go 23-13 Oakland.
Yeah, I'm on the Raiders too, and I'm with you. I'm not going to look at that. Run with them, boys. I'm not going to look at that game last week and think anything of it. That was just kind of one of those games that you just kind of put behind you and keep moving. I mean, 5 turnovers for the offense, and realistically, the defense. I know that it was like 43-6 or whatever the hell the score was, but the defense really didn't play that bad against the offense of Atlanta. They were just put in horrific field positions due to the 5 turnovers. But we've seen what this Raiders offense can do. Why they chose the week against Atlanta's defense to be that bad is beyond me. But I think in a bounce back game, they're 6-5 in the thick of things in the AFC. They have everything to play for. And the Jets, I mean, they're a dumpster fire. And I expect the Raiders to come back strong here. Gank, I have a very similar score to you. I'm going to go 33-13 Raiders.
Love that. Wow.
Are the Jets going to go 0-16?
Yes.
I don't know who else they play, but
I'm officially saying yes. You asked me that like 2-3 weeks ago. I told you they still win, but now this team's not winning a football game.
They're horrific.
Really beaten.
I don't know what their schedule is. They're bad.
Gank, I want to look. You could go ahead though, Ganker. Hold on.
Yeah, pull it up. I was just thinking, imagine being in a John Gruden locker room after you turn the ball over 5 times.
Dude, Gruden, did you see him on the sidelines? He was – all right, they got – oh, my God.
I'll tell you what in game.
Raiders at Seattle, at Rams, home against the Browns, and then they finish at New England. What game are they winning?
No, winning a game they have to win this week. Do that one more time.
Okay, it was
Raiders,
and then you got at Seattle, at Rams.
No shot.
Home against the Browns. I mean, maybe, but I don't think they win. And then they got home against the Pats to finish it out, I believe. Or is it in New England?
They're home against the Pats or in New England? I think they're in New England.
No, they're in New England.
In New England, yeah.
Dude, to be honest, I think it needs to be this week.
Yeah.
Or in New England.
Yeah, the Browns aren't losing that game because they're going to be in the thick of a playoff race.
Yeah, the Browns. The Browns
might come down to week 17.
The Jets ain't going to be able to move the ball on the Browns defense.
No.
The Browns are controlling. Yeah.
Going in Foxborough to avoid 0-16.
Oh.
Yeah. And New England might be in the middle of a playoff race and might need that win, in which case there's no shot the Jets win that.
Yikes.
Jesus.
It might have to be this week, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
No. All right, let's get NFC South here. Saints in Atlanta. Atlanta 3-point home dogs, over under 45.5. Saints, once again, huge win streak. Every year, Saints seem to have a freaking win streak and just climb themselves to the top of the NFC. I feel like the Saints start a little slow, and then when it's all said and done, December comes around, and now we're talking about the Saints as, a Super Bowl favorite out of the NFC, looking like the best team. But I'll go upset right now. I think this is a game the Saints lose here. Falcons, like you said, I don't want to look too much into it with the Raiders and how bad they looked last week, because I don't think the Raiders are that bad. And the Falcons obviously looked better than they are, but I think as we saw a little more of a Falcon team, we kind of planned on saying most of the year last week. And it keeps getting balled up. It's second half of the season, Falcons too little too late. And I almost think they might keep that up again. I think they take care of the Saints at home here. I think the Falcons will be able to find a way to score some points. Taysom Hill, this little win streak he's on is coming to an end because I still don't buy the fact that he's actually that good at quarterback. Obviously, it's working for the Saints. They figure out a way to score a good bit of points in their couple games since he's been playing, but I think the Falcons score more this week. I think that over-under of 45.5 is pretty low. The Falcons' defense is pretty bad. Saints are able to score, but Falcons, they score a little more. Give me the Falcons 28-24.
Yeah, Gank. I agree, man. I'm not going to pick the Falcons to win this. I think the Saints win by a point. But it doesn't seem like every year the Saints lose to Atlanta, whether it's at home or in Atlanta. It just seems like that's always a tight rivalry. And even if, a couple points decides it, Atlanta's been on the wrong end of a lot of them. But the Saints are kind of smelling, they think they're better than they are. They just beat a Broncos team, and they might take the Falcons a little lightly. And the Falcons are playing well. Say what you want. They just beat the Raiders, who are 6-5 who have beaten the Chiefs by 40 points. So you got to give them credit. They've been playing better, and I think that they're going to cover this spread. I wouldn't be at all shocked if they won it, but I think the Saints find a way to win. I love the points here. I will go 28-27 New Orleans.
Run with
They're running.
Let's go with the Falcons now.
We are running. Wow, this is a lot of running.
We got some teams
normally
on
this
the
much
list.
running. I don't even know.
No, yeah, this is not usually the case.
I don't think so either.
No, I think we usually get like maybe 3.
Yeah.
We're already at 4, and we're still 1 o'clock games.
We got 5.
We got 5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Bears, Jags, Raiders, Falcons.
Jesus. That's absurd.
That's scary.
But with that being said, I have the same score as AT. I really wanted to take the Falcons to win, and would not be shocked in the least bit if they do. But just because, the Saints, they're a better football team. And these two teams just played 2 weeks ago. The Saints won, 23-9. The Saints defense is playing very, very good. I will give them that. Last week, you can't count that because they played a team without a fucking quarterback. But that's a whole nother story. But I think this Falcons team coming off a huge win, and they're getting Taysom Hill at home. And as much as Taysom Hill is, people think he's great, if you make him beat you with his arm, I don't think that's going to go very well. I think he had 60 passing yards last week. They're all rushing. So if they can just limit the Saints rushing attack, they're going to be able to keep this game close and pull out this upset. But just because the Saints, I think, are a better team, I will take them to win, but I'll take them 28-27. But, let's take the Falcons to cover.
I don't hate it, man. Have you guys seen that Kamara with Taysom Hill? It's just been
horrible.
And
AT, I will say this too. Last week, me and Gank both had the Falcons to cover. You went against us in your bet.
I
didn't really help you.
I don't like to pick against Chaz with the Falcons this year, so that's the first problem there. He's been. I think I would love to know your record of betting the Falcons. I feel like you've been
doing pretty decent this year with them.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those teams. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
God, questionable list of teams running with. That's 5.
Yeah, I don't.
We get to start the 4 o'clock games too.
We got to get some disagreement on the 4 o'clocks. I hope.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got 4 this week. Nice. There should always be at least 4.
Nice.
Starting with the big one out in the NFC West here. Rams traveling to Arizona here. Cardinals 3-point home dogs. Over under 48.5. Anybody want to volunteer to take this one first?
I'll take it.
You got it.
All right.
Because I actually like this one. I'm probably going to be against you guys, but I'm going to take the Cardinals. I actually think they win this game. And, they probably should have won last week if they make a 45-yard field goal in Foxborough. But I think coming home now, they've lost 3 of 4. It's a divisional game, and I say it every week when there's a team in this situation. It's a must-win game for the Cardinals at home. And I think Kyler last week, that was one of his worst games in his career, probably throwing the football. I know it's only his second year, but I think another week, him getting that shoulder healthy and this team coming back home, I think they get a win here because they have to have it. And the Rams, I mean, they're coming off a pretty bad loss to the Niners at home. But I think divisional game, must win at home. I'll take the Cardinals to win. I'll take them 23-21.
Yeah, they are not running with the Bulls. I don't think you guys either of you are surprised by this, but I'm on the Rams this week. Just least surprising news ever. First of all, so Chaz, I agree with a lot of what you said. Had the Rams not lost last week, but off a loss, I feel as if Sean McVay, I don't know his actual record, but I feel like it's very, very good. And the Niners have always played the Rams very well. I think this is a bad matchup for the Cardinals because they can stop Kyler passing the ball. I think, Jalen Ramsey is going to be on D-Hop, which is an awesome, awesome matchup. Luckily, I got D-Hop on a bye in that one, or on one league because I got it. So that's big time. Either way, I like the Rams this week a lot. I've not seen enough from the Cardinals. They're just not playing very well. And I'm not really buying Cliff Kingsbury right now. I don't know if he has enough to adjust. I see a big bounce back game from the Rams, and I think the Cardinals offense still struggles a bit to get it going. I really do actually like the under in this game. And I just think the Rams D shows up and the Rams offense does enough to win. So I'll take the Rams. I like them to cover. I'll go 23-17.
See, this is why I didn't want to go first. And this is why I'm torn because, Chaz, I want to agree with you where deep down I actually – and I don't know if I have any logic or reason for this, but deep down I think the Cardinals are actually going to win this game. But if I want to get a logic or reason, Adam, I'm on your side. I think it's a bad matchup for the Cardinals where the Rams should win this game. So now I got to make a pick. And this game, gambling-wise, it's going to be fun to watch. Gambling-wise, I want to stay the hell away because, as you can tell, I don't have a true feel. But I'm just going to go with my gut here. And I do think Arizona's to be able to come back at home and win this game. Rams obviously have big turnaround from last year. I mean, you go from Super Bowl to miss playoffs. Now you got another year where a wide open NFC. Maybe they can run it back to the Super Bowl. I think it happened, but this Cardinal team started hot. It's been a roller coaster of a season, up and down. But it's the game at home they can win. Chaz, I'm with you. I mean, that was awful from what we saw from Kyler Murray last week. I mean, very unlike him. I don't think anybody believes he's actually that bad. I'm going to go with my gut, and I think he bounces back at home, and I think they win this game outright. I think he might do it late, too. Give me the Cardinals 24-20. But, Adam, I can't disagree with you when you pick the Rams, too. I think logically, yes, the Rams is the good pick.
Yeah, logically, the Rams makes sense.
Yes.
Like I said.
I got you. Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to pick it because my gut was saying, the Cardinals are going to find a way to win this game at home. Yeah. It might be something stupid like a Hail Mary that they complete to D-Hop to get it just to fuck Adam's bet over or something.
I mean, these are two teams. I feel like I've not been on Arizona, and I'm always on the Rams, so this is no surprise that I'm taking it.
Right. Yeah. Now I got to get to my Giants here.
First place matchup.
First place New York Giants is December 2nd, and the Giants are in first place in the NFC East. Don't forget that. Luckily, the NFC East has a tough schedule this week, too, because all on the road. We're going to start with the Giants going to Seattle here. Seattle, 10-point favorites at home, over under 46.5. We talked pre-show the Daniel Jones injury. Sounds like very slight outside shot he can play this week. I think the Giants should keep him out. I'm 99% sure that he's not going to play this week anyway. Just keep him out because I've accepted this loss as a Giant fan. It's going to be tough even with him to go to Seattle and win. With that said, though, let's get to the spread now, 10 points. I want to say the Giants' defense could keep it close. As bad as Seattle's defense has been, the Giants might be able to score points. But when it's all said and done, I still don't think the Giants cover 10, especially if it's Colt McCoy in the pocket. Colt McCoy might be getting a break going against the Seattle defense that has allowed points, but Seattle in a huge division race, let alone the NFC that's wide open, as I keep saying. I mean, it's a game at home, likely a backup quarterback that they should win. I am shitting on Seattle's defense. Been slightly better since Jamal Adams has been back. Obviously, still a lot of holes, I think, and question marks. But Russ Wilson's probably going to be the one quarterback that could find a way to beat this Giants defense. It's been getting better week to week, too. Give me Seattle to win this one at home, comfortably against the backup quarterback. I'll take the Seahawks 31-17.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I looked at this game and immediately this is not one I want to touch personally, because back to
I want to touch it, gambling.
Yeah, and you just don't know what you're getting from Colt McCoy. I was encouraged by what I saw from from Seattle last week. Obviously, against a banged up, difficult Philly team to say the least, an organization. But I think their defense is going to keep building off of that, and I think that they found something there. Russ. I don't know if Russ has a big game this week. I think the Giants I saw a stat. Their cornerback, Bradbury's leading the league in pass deflections and one other.
Bradbury has been the best corner in football.
Yeah, no, I saw a couple.
Honestly. Yeah.
Talk about a money signing.
Yeah. I mean, big time. That dude's legit. So I do think the Seahawks will struggle offensively, kind of like they did this past Monday a little bit. But I don't see the Giants scoring. I think Seattle's defense has a big game and figures it out and keeps rolling a little bit. So I don't love the points here, but I'm going to go 27-13 Seattle. I
will say this, Chaz, I know we talked like Darius Slay shadowing Metcalf, maybe get locked away off Metcalf. Nah, if Bradbury's shadowing Metcalf this week, this is the week you go lock it. Yeah. Because I actually think Bradbury can shut him down. But I don't know who's
Slay got beat down the entire game from play one to the end of the game. Yeah. With that being said, I can't believe me the only one, but I'm going to take the Giants to cover the 10. And
I'm so glad we're not running with the Bulls against the Giants.
When I first saw this, I was like, "Oh, Seattle's going to kill them," but in the back of my mind, I think this is probably going to be one of the biggest lines that is like the popular bet with the public. And as we've seen the last 2 weeks, somehow that whoever the top number is with the most popular bets, the dogs just somehow cover. And we didn't really see that much of Colt McCoy to really get a feel of how that offense is going to play with him. But I think this Giants defense is good enough to keep the Seahawks offense, in line. Their run D is much better than their pass D other than Bradbury. So I think Russ could have a couple touchdowns and have a decent game, but I think I'm still not a believer in the defense. So I think this Giants offense, even with Colt McCoy, whether it's Gallman or they'll muster up enough points, whether it's defensive touchdown or something, literally just because I think this game is going to be bet very heavy. I'm going to take the Giants to somehow cover it. So I'll take the Seahawks to win 24-17.
I love that. That wouldn't shock me either, but
yeah. And I don't know if this is coincidental. I've sent this to you guys the last 2 weeks, but the top 5 picks from the public with the most money was on for the last 2 weeks have all not hit. I don't know if that's coincidental.
Oh yeah, never does.
Unbelievable.
And then we see the Philly game. We saw the Raven game today. Like it's absurd. It's absurd.
Yeah.
But
here's my thing with the Giants. Like, I try to tell myself that, like, yeah, the Giants could keep this close, and it wouldn't shock me if they do. I mean, the Giants have been in almost every single game they've played, but, like, they're due to, like, get a loss for once, where it's not like I think the Giants are going to win and they're going to break my heart at the end of the fucking game. Like, they seem due to, like, actually lose a game. And this one might be it. But get Danny Dimes healthy, get him back, because I firmly believe they're winning the NFC East still. But that's just me.
What we saw from Philly, I don't know.
I don't know. Philly.
It ain't Philly.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, it's funny too. So you had the question on the show a week or two ago. We all kind of still predicted Philly.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I think Philly's the only team that doesn't have a shot to win this division anymore. Dallas has a pretty cake schedule. I think the Giants are the best looking team. And as good as the Giants, as decent as the Giants defense has been, Washington's defense has probably even been slightly better. So they probably have the best defense in that division. I think it's a three-way race between those. But
should be interesting.
They're going to be – the Giants are going to be 4-8 next week.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the good thing. We said before, every NFC East team's going to lose. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all on the road.
Against like
next tough teams.
4 very good teams, yeah.
Next 4 teams, that's probably going to make the playoffs. We'll see about the Ravens, but I think they find themselves in.
Pending the Ravens.
I think they find themselves in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to LA here. The Chargers at home against the Patriots. 1-point underdog for the Chargers here, over under 47.5. And we see this Chargers team every week. They're kind of like the Giants of the AFC. They're going to hang around. They're going to be in games, but they don't pull it out when it's all said and done. And seeing last week, the loss to Buffalo. And now you're at home against a New England team that's kind of been struggling, but Belichick all of a sudden kind of has this team in the playoff race again. Give me the Pats to win this game on the road here. And at that point, I'm obviously going to take them to cover the -1 that they're at. Belichick, rookie quarterback, tends to have a pretty good history when it comes to beating rookie quarterbacks. And the Chargers are, like I said, a team that just can't close out games. I trust Belichick to close out this game late when it's all said and done. They need it. They need it more. I trust Belichick in that situation too. And I think the Chargers, while – the Chargers are going to do Chargers thing. They'll probably even have a third quarter, fourth quarter lead in this one. I think Eckler has a chance to have this good game. We talked about him pre-show. He comes back with 11 catches, ran the ball for 4 or 5 yards to carry. But when it's all said and done, it's something about the Chargers. I don't know what it is, why this team – it's been, 3 fucking years running too? This team cannot close a game when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
And we know one thing the Patriots can. We've seen it in the past. Give me the Patriots. I think Belichick, I don't know what it would be. I just trust Belichick against rookie quarterbacks. He seems to beat them more times than not. Just give me the Pats to win this one. I think it's close, 24-21.
Yeah, gang. I mean, I'm right there with you for a lot of what you said. I look at it as a money line game for obvious reasons. The spread's only 1. And you just look at late game scenarios. Bill Belichick versus the Chargers team, they can't get out of their own way. I don't know how – I'm interested to see how Herbert does against Belichick's defense because it's not how it's been the past couple of years. But he always finds a way to confuse rookie quarterbacks. And, I mean, the Chargers got a nice little offense if they can just get the right coach. I assume Anthony Lynn will get fired. I don't even think he's a bad coach. He just kind of –
I was actually going to have that question for you, Adam. I was like, you're pretty good at telling coaches when to take a hike and get fired. When does Anthony Lynn go?
I think he goes sooner rather than later. I don't know if he'll go because I have no idea who would be their interim coach. But I just think this is just the game the Pats need, and they have to have it, and they will, coming off a big last-minute win against the Cardinals team. And I see Cam bouncing back a little bit. He had a horrible game last week, and they still won against the bad Chargers defense. He finds the way to put it together. So I see it close, but I think I got the same score as you, gang, 24-21 Patriots.
Yep. Let's get running.
They're running, baby.
Yeah.
I like running with this team, though.
I like this one a lot. I'm with you guys. Gank, Belichick against rookie QBs. He said that he wins. He tends to win more times than not. He's 19-5 against them.
That's the number I was looking for.
Yep. So
yes, sir.
That's really all I had to say, honestly. And we saw the late game last week with the Chargers in that game against Buffalo. How they just that last 30 seconds of that game was just absurd. But I know it's screwed.
Nightmares. Nightmares.
But they also said, like, Eckler came back, and obviously he had a huge fantasy day, 16 targets, 11 catches. But they were saying that, like, it changed how Herbert kind of ran the offense. He's never been that check down happy. And all he did this week was check it down to Austin Eckler. And fantasy owners love it. But it kind of staggered that offense. I mean, Keenan Allen, I think, only had like 40 or 45 yards or something like that. He didn't really have a big game.
He had 40. Trust me, I had to bet on over his receiving yards too. Got missed.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Chargers can't close games, like you guys said. The Patriots got a big win at home last week, and they're 5-6. If they can win this game, get back to 6-6, back in the AFC playoff picture once again. I like the Pats a lot here, so I'll take Belichick over the rookie QB. I'll take the Pats 24-21.
We all at 24-21.
Oh, AT, you did too?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, wow.
That's weird. I'm betting the exact. I am 100% betting an exact score in that game now too. Yeah, just for shits. That might be a first. All three of us the same score. I think that's a first.
That's really running with the Bulls. That is full on with the Bulls.
You cannot be running more with the Bulls.
Wow. Let's do a giveaway if that score hits.
Love that.
I'm in.
All right, let's get to the dumpster fire in the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles, as we're talking about. Now we're traveling to Green Bay here. Eagles 8.5-point dogs on the road, over under 47. Chaz, I want you to tell me about Philly radio, everything about this one.
I mean, this might have been the all-time Philly radio week. It was just good stuff. I told you guys about the one guy that called in. He called in, literally sounded like he was in tears, and said that 2-point conversion play that the Birds went for and covered lost him $7,000. His wife found out, and they are legitimately getting a divorce, he thinks now. That game with the spread was wild, but about the actual Eagles, everyone's hitting the panic button. Obviously, the Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts situation is a whole nother thing. Everyone's ready to see Jalen Hurts now because Wentz once again played horrific. But in this game, the Eagles, we saw that offense last week against a bad defense, one of the worst defenses number-wise of all time going into the game, and they couldn't move the ball. And so they're going to Green Bay, a team that just put up 41 on Chicago. And I'm a little worried about this game for the Birds here. None of us expect them to win. I'm going to take the Packers to cover here. It's 8.5 is a big number. But just because the Eagles' offense seems broken, they have a quarterback controversy, and they just seem to honestly just be a clusterfuck right now on both sides of the ball. So I'll take the Pack to win 30-17 and send the Eagles to 3-8-1.
It's funny, Chaz, because first of all, I was like thinking today, the two coaches. So you got Nagy and you got Pedersen, right? They're both Andy Reid, former offensive coordinators. They're trying to have Mahomes and Reid where they're at, and it just ain't working. It's like not a thing, and they try, you can't do that with Mitch, and you can't do it with shitty O-line, obviously, whatever, blah, blah. Yeah. So just run the fucking ball. But the Bears or the Eagles choose not to run the ball. They put the quarterbacks in horrible positions, and then they're surprised when that happens. So, and I'm yet to hear a good explanation of why Jalen Hurts was drafted. Why would you pay someone $40 million over 4 years each year to then draft a backup quarterback when he's in his prime? It doesn't – either way, I think it's way more the GM. I don't know what – I don't even blame Pedersen here. I just think the team is bad. I've said that multiple weeks. I don't think they have a good roster moving forward. And I saw the Packers just destroy the Bears defense last week. So I have no reason to think the Eagles defense will stop them. And Rodgers is playing well. I think he keeps rolling. And this is a bad one for the Eagles. So I'm going to go 31-17 Green Bay, and it might be worse.
Yeah, it might.
It really might.
Oh, man.
What is going on?
Do you guys want to run with the Bulls? But here's the thing. We're not running with the Bulls here.
Bank on Philly.
I'm going to take Philly plus the 8.5 here. I'm honestly going to take Green Bay to win this game at home. Philly's not going into Green Bay and winning. But I think 8.5 is a pretty big number. Here's the thing. Philly obviously has been ugly, but, I don't think Philly's defense is as bad as it's getting credit for. Their offense is brutal, and it's kind of putting their defense in a bad spot, which, allows team to scores. But when it's all said and done, I feel like if you look back at Philly games, lot of their games were just weird and ugly scoring, like 26 points, 15 points, whatever. And they're all like games, you really don't see any team getting into the 30s really when Philly's been on the field recently anyway, I feel like. And with that said, I mean, I do think the Packers, I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's playing at a near MVP level. Right now, he's right behind Patrick Mahomes for me for MVP of the year, I think, personally. But I do think Philly could actually somewhat slow Green Bay's defense. Philly's going to be able to score, or Green Bay's offense. Philly's going to be able to score somewhat on Green Bay's defense. Not a whole lot, but enough to cover 8.5. And like I said, for some reason, Philly's defense have been winning ugly games. And I do think Philly keeps us within the 8.5. I'm going to pick a weird score game, right? Kind of weird score game right here. I'm just going to pick it just to have the hook, but I think Philly keeps it close. Aaron Rodgers is going to do enough. He's going to throw his 2 touchdowns, close to 300 yards. But when it's all said and done, Philly's defense makes some plays. Philly's offense is the bigger problem this year, which all goes to Doug Peterson. And I actually blame everything. But I've listened to Philly radio before. Obviously, there are some people pointing fingers at Jim Schwartz. I don't think it's him. I think it's Peterson. I think it's Wentz. I think it's everything about the Phillies offense that's a big problem this year. Give me the Packers at home, 24-16, Eagles cover.
Gank, I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate that we're not running with the balls on that one.
Yeah.
I think the Packers win and cover, but like it wouldn't shock me at all if the Packers cover it. So
I mean,
not comfortable with that pick. It's kind of
I get that you blame Pedersen and all that, but bro, have you realized they drafted Ortega-Whiteside over Metcalf and then fucking Rieger over all of these great receivers? Like,
they can't draft.
I understand.
They don't know how to draft. I don't even know how they won the Super Bowl with how they draft. It's incredible.
Which obviously, you know, the GM would point fingers, but like Peterson has a say in this too. And Peterson's calling the offensive plays.
It depends how much he has to say. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he has to say in the draft picks. He might, though. You're right. Head coaches do.
Yes, I was somewhat.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And like I said, I think my bigger thing is he's the one calling the offensive plays and everything. And I think the offense is the way, way bigger problem than the defense. I don't think Philly's defense even has a problem, really, honestly.
No,
I think their offense just keeps
they had a
terrible
They had a decent offense. They'd be winning games.
You're right. You're 100% right there. I mean, what's it? Probably average. Give it a good offense. It's maybe above that. You know, I don't know, but
with their offense wants to turn the ball over and all these short fields. Philly's defense probably top 5 in football right now statistically, but their offense keeps fucking them over.
Dude, I am telling you, the similarities between the Eagles and the Bears are kind of scary.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
It's very like when you want to crunch it down and look at it. I think it is very similar.
Bad lines that don't run the ball.
And I think you hit it right on the head. They're all trying to be Andy Reid, but like the thing is, yes, Andy Reid's a great coach, but like, and yes, Pat Mahomes is great, and you can coach him be great, but like Pat Mahomes is just like you're born with talent. Like he has this talent. Your quarterbacks aren't Pat Mahomes; they don't have that talent. But Mitch, oh man. Like you can't do what Andy Reid does when you don't have Pat Mahomes because you don't have Pat Mahomes. But who knows? And speaking of Pat Mahomes, let's get to Sunday Night Football here. Denver traveling to Kansas City. Pat and the Chiefs 14-point favorites at home here. Over-unders at 50.5. I'm actually going to say right off the bat, I'm going to take the Broncos plus 14 in this one. This is a huge spread for a division game. Chiefs obviously going to win this one at home. I'm buying more and more every week that the Chiefs are repeating as Super Bowl champions. They just look so good. But when you look at this game here, Denver historically, even since Mahomes has been here, as you know, Chiefs blew them out earlier this year in Denver. I think blew them out, beat them pretty good if I remember. But Denver has tended to keep Mahomes and the Chiefs kind of close more times than not if history tells us anything. And I think they kind of keep this one within 2 touchdowns. I do think the Chiefs are going to win easy. It's going to look easy. It's going to look comfortable. But 14 points is a lot here. Last time these two teams played, Mahomes barely had to do anything. Chiefs defense made some plays, and might even been special teams touchdowns. All I know is as Mahomes fantasy owners, the Chiefs won pretty comfortably. Mahomes didn't get me that much fantasy points because he didn't have to. But Broncos defense keeps them in check. They're getting their quarterbacks back. I think they'll be able to score some points here. Give me the Chiefs to win this game. Give me the Broncos to cover. And I'm going to have this game go slightly under. I'll take the Chiefs 30-17.
Gank, I'm shocked. I guess I'm always surprised, kind of like Chaz when I don't pick the Saints. I guess I'm always shocked when you don't pick the cover. But I feel like last week you took the Bucs to cover, right? Or did you take
I did take the Bucs to cover. I think I actually might have taken the Bucs to win, if I'm not mistaken, too.
I think they covered.
Yeah, I remember thinking.
Yeah, the Bucs covered. Yeah, but I think I actually picked them to win outright.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Yank. I think the Broncos find a way to cover this. I mean, 14 points is so many in the NFL. 2 touchdowns is a lot. And Denver's D, I mean, it's not horrific, I guess. It's decent. And I think that gets back, and I think Drew Lock at least has something to prove this week after the whole Corona incident. But I think, unfortunately, my boy Vic Fangio is on his way out of Denver as well. So,
poor Vic, you don't even know.
Poor Vic, I think I got a sense that he's on his way as well. But I mean, I think the Chiefs handle this one easy, like you said. I do kind of like the under as well, but I don't know if Denver's going to score much. I'll go 27-17 Kansas.
Fortunately, we're not running with the boys here.
No.
And I usually like the Broncos, and 14 points is
I was saying, Chaz is usually with me too when I pick the Broncos and points.
Yeah. And the Broncos are another team that's
not this week, huh?
Picked. Yeah, the Broncos are another team that I've picked well this year.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, the Chiefs haven't covered 3 straight weeks, and I feel like Sunday Night Football, primetime Mahomes, I think they're just going to have a really good showing. And I think this Broncos team, I mean, the Chiefs beat them 43-16 in Denver. So now they get them at home. You have prime time. And, I mean, this Chiefs team has to obviously continue to keep the foot on the gas with Pittsburgh being 11-0. They can't really slip up. And I think they're a little mad at the way they played in that fourth quarter last week, letting Tampa kind of crawl back in that game. And I think their defense can play a lot better. I think this offense, like we saw last week, is just really unstoppable. So give me the Chiefs to cover this huge number. I'll take them 33-16.
How about the Bucs thinking they can just man-to-man cover Tyreek Hill on the Chiefs offense? You really got to question how they were thinking all week. Like, yeah, let's do that. That's a great idea.
What about Tyreek Hill having made 51 fantasy points after one quarter?
Did you see he did the phone thing on the sideline?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Bro, what the hell were they thinking? Come on.
That's
you really just got to wonder.
Never going to work.
No.
All right. We talked pre-show. This line wasn't up, but now it's up. Unfortunately, we don't have the Raven and Gonzo line up yet. But we do have a Steeler and Washington football team lined up, and that's the Steelers' 8-point favorites at home here. We don't have an over-under yet on that. With that said, I was talking – it was actually Joe Haynes earlier, and I was saying how the Steelers, obviously great football team, they're undefeated, are doing something right. But they kind of tend to do this thing where they just almost been playing at the other team's level all season long, and when it's all said and done, they're just going to beat you when it's all said and done. So with that said, give me the Steelers to win this game at home. But Washington's defense, I think, is good enough to keep it close somewhat in a game that's an 8-point spread. I think they give Ben a little bit of problems. You saw the Ravens defense give the Steelers offense a little trouble here, and I think Washington might be able to give the Steelers offense a little trouble also. And Alex Smith has been playing pretty decent football for Washington. I mean, they're tied with the Giants at 4-7. Luckily, Daniel Jones is Washington's kryptonite for some fucking reason. The Giants have 2 wins against them, so they can stay tied all they want, and the Giants are fine. But Washington 4-7 in the middle of this NFC East race. They're coming in for a fight. I think their defense keeps this close enough and keeps it within 8 points. Give me the Steelers at home, 24-20.
Gank, yeah, I'm on the football team as well. Chazzy, is Gonzo picking this or Ravens?
Ravens.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of what you said, Gank. The Steelers are perplexing to me because I almost feel like the way they're playing, it's better for them to lose a game because they just like seem to think that they're like, this and this and this, but obviously with home field advantage, it's not the same. But they just like they're playing weird, and there are a lot of drops this week, today against the Ravens.
A couple hours ago.
3 hours ago in the middle afternoon. I mean, the Ravens played well, but I thought that the Steelers left a lot of points on the field, and I think they're going to do the same again against the football team that has a pretty good front seven for the future, and Ron Rivera, former Bear great, leading the way. So I will take football team to cover, Steelers to win. Similar score to you. I got 23-17 Pittsburgh.
All right, let's run with them. Yeah, I'm
running with the
football team.
Love that.
How many do we have right now? 7?
That's 7.
Okay.
I'm with you guys for a lot of what you guys said, and I mean Washington's coming off a very good showing on Thanksgiving. Obviously against Dallas, they were dogs in that too, but Antonio Gibson, his breakout game, and Alex Smith is playing well enough to lead this offense and put up points. And when they can put up, I'd say somewhere in the low 20s, they're going to win games because that defense is good. And the thing that we've seen with the Steelers, and this isn't even just this year's, they don't usually blow teams out. They blew out the Jags, who aren't good, and that was one of the games that the Jags didn't cover. But they usually tend to keep games close, and this, anything over a touchdown, I feel like is a lot of points in the NFL. And for a Washington team that has obviously everything to play for, right in the mix of the things for the NFC East, I think this game stays close. So I'll take Washington 24-21. Or Steelers. 24-20.
I said he just picked Washington.
I knew what you meant, so I knew.
No. Yeah.
Gank's face is gonna be funny to watch in that though.
My jaw drop a little.
Yeah, dude.
Look, Gank, I promise I don't have the stones to pick them straight up.
Oh man, that would have been excellent.
Yeah.
All right, and now the second Monday night game here. Buffalo in San Fran.
In Arizona.
Oh, in Arizona. That's right.
Yeah, because they got banned. They can't play in whatever county they're in.
Yeah.
Santa Clara, right?
Santa Clara, yeah.
Yeah.
So the game is in.
Clara has some fun.
So the game's in Arizona.
Okay, that makes sense. 1, 2. What the fuck are they gonna do with their future home games the rest of the season?
They said the next 2 at least are in Arizona, and like the players and coaches on San Fran, they said they won't see their families for like 6 weeks. Like they can't do anything.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah, they're basically going in a bubble.
They're pretty much in a bubble.
Yeah.
So
I figured Santa Clara's. I know Stanford's not allowed to like travel back home really, like their basketball team. Their basketball teams talked about like hanging out in like North Carolina right now, seeing if they can find like more non-conference games to play or something. Because they can't like play at home. Go back home.
Wild.
It's fucking stupid and wild, yeah. All right, so whatever. In Arizona, regardless of the place. This is fucking nuts. Regardless, San Fran 1.5-point underdogs here, over under 48. I'm actually going to pick the 49ers to win this game here. I think their defense could give Josh Allen problems. As good as Josh Allen has been this year, I don't think he's kind of taken fully the next step yet. Josh Allen has shown some games where he struggles, and you got a good defense like San Fran. I think Josh Allen could really struggle. I think they force enough turnovers, and I think San Fran's going to be able to run the ball pretty well against Buffalo. I just think they match up well against the Bills. I think it's a good formula for the Niners, and I think they're going to steal this win against the Bills here. Give me the Niners 27-24.
Gank, I mean, I'm on the Bills here. I would not be shocked at all if the Niners won this game. They're playing very well. They're getting healthy at the right time. Obviously, a huge win against the Rams. I think that was more of a divisional win than it was that good of a team. And you heard it here first, boys. If the Bears fire Matt Nagy,
they're 2-0 against the Rams this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Too. No?
Yeah, I'm saying they play. They play an opponent well.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean, I am hoping if Nagy gets fired, which I assume he will, that Robert Saleh comes to the Bears. Man, I really hope that he's the next head coach, builds up that D. So we'll see. But moving to this game, I like Buffalo to win here. I'm not buying the Niners. I haven't really been buying them. I think that they play well within their division, like I said. But Buffalo
beat your Rams twice.
They did beat my Rams twice. I mean, they won on a field goal. Let's not act like they blew them out. But yeah, I like Buffalo here. I just I think it's one of those things where I'm higher on Buffalo than I am on San Fran. And they've been playing better, but I just feel like it's not their year. And eventually that will catch up to them. And I think Buffalo, it is their year. I think they have a really good season. So I think they obviously still have. So I like them to win here. Not much of a big reason. I just kind of have a gut feeling that they find a way to win this game. And the Niners are pissed they're playing Arizona. But I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch and a close one. So I'll go 27-24 Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm with Gank, and I'm on the Niners. I think, and this isn't even a knock on the Bills. I think the Bills are a good team. I mean, obviously they're 8-3 or 8-3. I just think this is a tough game going cross country to play a Niners team that, like you said, they're not happy that they're in Arizona. I mean, if they're going to be stuck in Arizona for 6 weeks, not being able to see their family and friends, like they're going to want to win those football games. And I think they're going to be motivated. And I think we saw last week what a couple healthy pieces did to that team. I'm not even going to say the offense because they got Mostert back. He scored. They got Deebo Samuel back. He had 11 catches. They got Richard Sherman back. He had an interception. So everyone that came back made a difference in the game. And I expect, Nick Mullins played good enough to beat a Rams defense. So home game technically for them. I think they're going to get a win here. So I'll take the Niners 23-20.
Love that.
Doesn't surprise.
No.
Adam,
what's up? Go.
Real quick, I don't know the last time it's been me and Chaz against. I feel like it is always you two against me, or it's like because it's just funny how that works, you know. Not working.
No, we had a couple in this week.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
I was on the Giants.
Fair enough. Gank, what the heck are we betting, man? I don't even remember.
I was to ask you that. I believe we had the Colts Texans different.
Yeah, that was one. Okay.
We were both on the Titans.
Yep.
We were both on the Bears. Had the Colts Texans different. The Jags just went up a half point. They're plus 10.5.
You guys, that's a huge half point.
The Saints Falcons too. It's mine.
The Saints Falcons is down to 2.5 now too. Lines are moving left and right.
Wow, that's wild.
Right now. The Jets line is up to 8, not 7.5.
I don't even know what we only disagreed on Bills, and I think the Colts.
Cardinals, Rams.
Oh,
did we disagree on Saints Falcons? Were you on the Falcons?
No, I had the Falcons.
Okay.
All right, so I don't want
Cardinals, Rams. We disagreed.
I don't want to bet Bills, Niners.
I don't either. You want to bet Colts, Texans?
Or Rams, Cardinals?
I'll take the Cards plus 3.
Yeah, let's go Rams, Cardinals.
Okay.
-3, right?
Yeah. So many lines moved there's like a handful of lines that moved half a point. It's nuts.
That 3 and 2.5 in the Saints Falcons is big.
Well, the Falcons line moved half a point. The Jets line moved half a point. The Jaguars line moved half a point. I think that's it. That's 3. That's like 3.
Those are big half points. Well, the 7.5 to 8 isn't really massive, but
no.
The 7.5 to 8 doesn't matter.
The other 2 are.
All right, so what are we locking at? Are we locking at these current ones right now? This has never happened, has it?
I don't know if we ever check.
I don't think it's ever happened like this.
I guess. Yeah, that's not really that big of it.
I think you have to lock at the current line because
I think so too. I agree.
We always do.
Yeah, you got to.
It's just this is just a rarity.
All right. Who started up?
I believe me, right?
It's Chaz, you, me.
All right. Got to get this right in the 1-0. First one we were all running with. I'm going to take the Pats -1.
That's everyone's first pick off the board.
Chaz is about to steal like all mine, actually.
Yeah. The second one, there's a couple things I like this week. It's a little tough. Second one, I will take the Texans +3.5.
Oh, you scumbag.
I didn't have that one.
I know, AT.
But I did.
And I've been so bad with over-unders, but I know Gank liked this one. I don't know if you did, AT. Where's the Jags? No, I'll take the over 45.5 in Saints Falcons.
Oh, nice. All right. Good. I thought you were stealing mine. All right. You only took one of them, Chazzy. That's not too bad. All right. I am going to go – the Raiders, it was a bad decision last week, but I really think they bounce back. And I picked them pretty well this year. So I guess it's -8 now. Give me Raiders -8 as my first lock. Bears, high-octane offense. I like the over in that one. It's only 4.5, and I think that Mitch is actually going to have a decent game against a shitty Lions defense. So over 4.5 Bears, Lions. And then I'm going to take the under 52.5 in Cleveland, Tennessee.
God damn it.
What was that? Under 52.5?
Under 52.5.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, my God. Let's see. So Chaz took New England and Houston for me.
Yep.
Adam took the Raiders and that under for me.
So you get for pick third, Bull.
That's it.
You get slim picking.
That is it. We're going to have multiple same games here now, I think.
Oh, I know one of them.
I'm going to start off with one that I'm definitely going to take. And that's the Jags, now that I got the half point too, plus 10.5.
Yeah, I was torn on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice pick.
That is a big –
That's a big half point, I think.
Yeah, that's a big half point. You're
right. Second one, I don't like losing the half point on this at all. But I'm going to take Atlanta plus 2.5.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that would stick at 3. Well, to be honest, I wasn't worried about not having it at 3. And last but not least, I don't think this is ever good whenever we do this.
Which one?
But give me the Bears -3.
I knew it.
No.
I had a feeling.
The Bears
and they find our locks once again.
Oh, that's dangerous.
At least we laid off them last week.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I was the only one that said they wouldn't cover.
That's true. He can't have covered.
Yeah.
So first
God.
counting of the bowls, 5 of the 7 are locked. No surprise there, obviously. All 3 of us think it happens. But all right. All right, boys, let me stop this recording. Peace.